As you can see, ladies and gentlemen, this is another second episode of Yowza, 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 and all up in your yowza. Pull out your teeth, yowza. Snatch out all your hard nose, yowza. Split your heads over to the white meat, yowza. So, please follow us at Circle Texas to the Nation James, all one word. John Johnson, 9877, all one word. James /GP4IZ. And following us on TikTok, LITE, James Jr. and BB. So y'all please stay tuned, show love, thumbs up, hit the heart. Remember, we love you. God bless you. Keep your brains open and make sure you keep your mouth open and use it when you need to. All right? Y'all enjoy the video. This is part 2 of the Yowza!
We got black psychiatrists. We got a lot of good black jobs. I don't know what y'all thought we was going to be farm workers for. We don't even want to work in the fast food industry. Those jobs, we don't want those kind of jobs. So, I hate to disappoint you MAGA people, but we don't do farm work. So, get somebody else to do it. Like, share, comment, and repost. Drop in the comments y'all education and y'all good black jobs. So they don't think we got good black jobs out here. So we need to let them see it.
So I know I was talking about, the Latino vote before. The Beaver vote for Donald Trump. Okay, well, let's get on to the white folks. The white farmers. So, word is out now that the white farmers voted for Donald Trump because they thought they were going to get black Americans in the fields. Because they also thought black folks did not have jobs. So when we put this all together, somehow the white farmers were convinced that black folks don't have jobs. We don't work. we don't work. And so they voted for Donald Trump because they thought, okay, he gonna send them in the fields. So Donald Trump and them, with their whole Project 2025, said, okay, so we got to make this happen. So we got to cut these DEI stuff, all this DEI stuff, to put black Americans out of work. When in reality, they put a bunch of white folk out of work just to get black folks out of work. And so all these cuts that are happening are to try and harm black Americans so much till they think that we're going to go into the fields. Now, when you think about that, that makes you double back and see why they want the Latinos out. Because the Latinos, right, to them, they are reproducing entirely too fast, okay? And so they're like, we got to get them out of here because black Americans don't reproduce as fast as the Latinos. And so if we can get them out, then the black Americans can take their place in the field. This is for real. And so now you double back to the black jobs. They're taking your job. Yes, you got to double back to what he said. They're taking black jobs, y'all. Like, they have all this down. Like, they have all this whole circle not all of them. This is them Cubans, them Cuban ones. Talk about you're next. You're next. Right? To black Americans, so they thought we was immigrants. Okay? And so now we have the white farmers who are still living in the 1700s. Thinking back to glory days, quote unquote, they thought with their vote, we were going to the fields. So you got one group thinking they're going to kick us out of here. And you got another group of people thinking that we're going to the fields. Now, this right here is a real mental problem because people are literally stuck. I'm telling y'all, people are stuck in the 1700s when they think about black Americans, okay? I'm telling you, their thought process, they sit around probably campgrounds and picnics and stuff and talk about how can we make this happen? That was their heyday. I'm telling you, when that freaking plantation house burned down in Louisiana, I think, right? That was their heyday. Now, I'm trying to say that was their heyday. When that plantation house down in Louisiana got torched, okay? I'm telling you, that broke them. But you know, I just want to, you know what? I want to teach them a little bit more history if I have your attention, right? If I have your attention, right? This is some history that a lot of people don't know, okay? But y'all didn't know black Americans had white servants? Y'all ain't know that? I mean, it wasn't widespread or anything like that. We had white servants. Yeah, and they wanted to be our servants because they needed work. They were coming over from Europe. Yeah, and they were docile too. Yeah, they were docile. And black Americans, the aristocrats, the wealthy ones, because they were wealthy ones, okay? They had white servants. So I don't know if y'all ever see them pictures. Let me find a picture. I couldn't find it. I wasn't gonna go back and try to find a picture. But if you can watch videos, you'll be able to find a picture of possibly some black people in the horse-drawn carriages, and there may be someone white as the horseman or the I'm not sure what you call them, coachman or whatever. Yeah, he worked for them. Yes, indeed. It was a big thing. It was a big thing, you know, when everybody began to see in the early 1900s, you know, what? Black Americans, you know, they use the other word. Black Americans have white servants. Yeah, that's a bit of history they don't like to put on TV. And you know, the reason for it is because they were like, okay, they had, you know, white people here that they could hire, and they also had black people here that they could hire. But they felt that the white people from Europe were so docile, and they were less expensive. Now, they weren't the only ones who thought that. The wealthy white people thought that too.
All right, y'all. To the next episode, part 3. Peace out.